There's a simple truth that most men, to be honest with you, never really hear this clearly. And here's the truth. Nobody can follow a parked car. Not a wife, not a boss, not a family, not even you, my friend. See, a lot of men are frustrated with their life because they don't feel like they're going anywhere. But they themselves are not actually moving in any kind of clear direction. And before you get mad, that is not an insult. That's just an observation that we all good men have had to make at some point in our life. See, a lot of men fail not because they are weak. They don't fail because they're lazy. They don't fail because they're incapable. But they actually fail because they don't know what they want. At least not enough to organize their life around it. They say, and we've all done it, but they say things like, well, I just want to be happy. I just want peace. I want everything to be better. And the truth is, those are not goals. Those are feelings. And I appreciate having feelings, but they're not good leaders. A parked car is not broken. It just ain't going anywhere. And when a man don't know what he wants and where he's going, there's a few things that happen. His decisions drift. His energy starts getting scattered out everywhere. He's reactive instead of intentional. His career starts to stall. His confidence fade. Why is that? Why does that happen? Because direction is what a man needs to be pulled forward. And without direction, effort turns into exhaustion. And you just get tired. And this really, that kind of stuff really starts showing up in relationships. A lot of men don't know what they want, so they don't know what they need out of a relationship. They let that relationship decide for them. They avoid conversations. They go along and just keep the peace. And you know the Bible says to make peace, not keep peace. They tolerate things that they shouldn't, and then they neglect things that they shouldn't. Then they wake up one day resentful and totally confused about their direction. Not because somebody else ruined their life, but because they never took responsibility or never looked for responsibility to be clear. You cannot lead a relationship that you have not defined. And nobody can follow a man that does not know where he's going. So, same thing goes with work. A man says, I don't like my job. Okay, but what are you going to do, or what do you want instead of that job? Silence. You know what you don't want, but there's no plan, there's no direction, just a lot of frustration. So, what do? You stay stuck. Not because opportunity is not available. It's because movement requires a destination. A parked car don't get momentum by complaining that it's parked. The parked car don't get momentum because it complains about the road. Here's the part that it's hard to admit. Not deciding feels safer than deciding, because deciding means you can fail. Deciding means you could be wrong. Deciding means you could be held accountable for your actions. So instead, what do? We just stay vague. And that vagueness or that unclearness feels comfortable until it costs you years of your life. See, most men think they need motivation. They don't. I love to be motivated, but we don't need motivation. What we need is clarity. Motivation can fade, but a clear direction does not fade. When you know what you want, you say no a lot faster. You don't waste everybody's time, including your own. You tolerate less nonsense. You move with less noise in your head because you quieten things down that you don't want to hear. See, clarity does not make life easier necessarily, but it does make it a lot simpler. And here's the hard truth. If you don't decide what you want, you will live inside other people's heads instead of your own. And you'll let them decide for you what you should be deciding for yourself. And that's not oppression. That's a default setting inside of us. We have to change that. We don't need a perfect vision. We just need to know where to start. We don't need a 5-year plan. You just need to be honest one decision at a time today. So ask yourself this. What kind of a man do I want to be? What do I want my days to look like? What am I no longer willing to tolerate? What responsibility have I been avoiding? Write it down. It don't have to be beautifully said. Just be honest. See, initial movement might start a little messy. It might not look like you want it to look like in the end, but it gets you started. Leadership don't mean that you have all the answers all the time. And I'm glad about that. But what being a good leader means is that you're willing to move first. Even if it's a little slow, even if it's a little imperfect. People don't follow perfection. And I don't even think most people are looking for perfection. I believe that people want a leader to be, to have a direction. See, nobody can follow a parked car. So, in your life, when your life feels stalled, and it will from time to time, don't ask, why is this happening to me? Ask this instead. What direction am I refusing to choose? Because the moment you decide, movement begins. And here's the good news. Once you start moving, others will know how to follow you. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one.